Hello everyone, Phoenix61 here with your Legends shenanigans for the day. We are in the Leander, right? So this is the sort of the regular tech line of British cruisers, and it is one of the first ones that I was grinding when I got this game, and I quite enjoy it. I like the tech, right? I like the consumables, right? At this tier, right, you've got heals, sonar, and smoke screens, right? So we do get spotted here, which means we know there's a destroyer, at least one, pushing up through the zone. Our allied destroyer is also pushing up and being aggressive here and spots him. So we will hyper focus on this guy to try and help keep our own destroyer alive, because that's going to be important. But he's going to be outnumbered here because it's two coming in here, and I can only do so much, right? But we sent torpedoes. He's got torpedoes on the way. We've got our sonar going as well, and then you notice we did drop our smoke screen, so that way we can fire our guns and remain undetected here, unless of course we're too close, right? So, but those guys go undetected. Our destroyer is trying to get away, and he takes a torpedo from a Japanese destroyer, so we lose him. But we've got a minute left on sonar here, so I'm like, you know what? If it's just those two guys, right? In this zone too is somewhat protected, right? There's a lot of islands around the outside of this zone, so not too much can shoot at you when you get in. It's also tier 5, so I'm not like, honestly, I'm not gonna care too much if I die, right? So we're gonna go the aggressive route here. I'm gonna send our torpedoes. We've got 40 seconds left on sonar. That's what I'm kind of relying on here, is hoping I can get close enough that these guys get picked up with the sonar. But if they're gonna come out of the smoke screen, that gives us the earlier warning, and then we'll have early warning on torpedoes if they send them towards us as well. Sure enough, there they are. We're going to keep pushing in this direction and just dodge the torpedoes. We'll hold off on the damage con. There goes one down. We're going to go after this guy right now. He's still in the smoke, so he's getting picked up by our sonar. So we've got 14 seconds left here. We'll send the torpedoes. I don't know if that was really necessary, because we're going to have enough time to finish him off here. But he's sending his. We get that instant warning because we still got sonar going. And so, but it's plenty of time to finish him off. And then we can use the enemy smoke screen against them, right? Oh, nope, never mind. It's dissipating. Right, so I'm going to cut in as much as we can to try and remain unspotted and see if we can get this zone back in our hands. But yes, we get away with quite a bit there. But like I said, like, right, it's, you know, I lost my buddy, right, and then I was like, all right, let's just be aggressive here and see if we can get away with it. So that's not always going to work, but we do have some island cover here, right? So I'm also not surprised we got away with it either, right? We had sonar, we had the right tools for the job. We got in there close and was able to take out those destroyers. They missed us because, well, we had instant warning from sonar, right? So Tennessee is going to be our big concern here. It would be really, really nice to have smokescreen here. He's going to take a little bit of time to get his guns pointed this direction. We're going to get as many hits on him as we can before he does, and hope we can get the zone cap before those bullets get here. Yes, we can. He takes away vast majority of our health. That's kind of expected. There's only, you know, angling is only going to do so much when you're vastly overpowered with AP caliber. Big American battleship shells hitting us right. So, but yeah. And so we'll see if we can duck behind the land here. Something is still picking us up. Probably the destroyer in the Charlie cap, right? If you look at the mini map. So I got to keep moving back to try and get away from him, because it's only going to take one more bullet to finish us off here. We managed to go unspotted here. Enemy cruiser on our port side here. We'll see if we can cheese the last bullet here on him. Somebody else obviously did the vast majority of the work here. Multiple ships shooting at him. Nope, we missed, and it took other people had quite a couple extra chances there, right? So it's looking up, right? We lost a destroyer early, but we were able to capitalize on the fact that those two destroyers were kind of left alone here in the B-hole. So we utilized the tools that come with our ship here, right? Sonar, pushed up on them, was able to get rid of them. So it's a fair trade here, but I'm kind of surprised we're still alive after that encounter with that Tennessee. So, but we'll move up. We're gonna have smoke screen ready here, so we can move up a little bit and have at least try and have some sort of firing position on the remaining ships that are left on this team. But yeah, we're already at 2 kills and 42,000 damage here. Not half bad for a tier 5 cruiser game. Significantly more damage dealt than what we've got as our own health pool, right? We're at 28,700 here. I do have a collaboration commander on here, right? You can hear Commander Gowron, right, from the old Star Trek collaboration. He is a little bit more gun and like AP shell focus, which is perfect for this tech line because you only get AP shells with this particular line of cruisers, right? So I don't mind him at all. He doesn't have, the only downside is he doesn't have fully packed as an option, right? So we are using refill station, but if we had fully packed, we'd have potentially another heal, which would help in our current status, right? So somebody's got the Tennessee spotted here. So we'll try and line up these torpedoes. It does look like he's slowing down a little bit as I'm kind of watching that guiding line. But we'll take the shot anyway. And then if we do get spotted here, we'll drop our smoke screen. Right, since we're not detected, there's no sense in dropping the smoke here. I'm just curious where their last destroyer is, right? He was last spotted over there in the Charlie Cap. So I'm kind of curious where he's going. Oh, there he is. So we'll help with him if we can. I cheese one or two more cheeky salvos on this Tennessee. We'll drop the smoke here. He's about to come around the corner. Keeping an eye on those torpedoes. And then we're not going to forget about the destroyer here. He does look like he's slowing down. We might not be able to hit him up. Yep, he went in his smoke screen as well. But you do get two torpedo hits on the Tennessee, so that's huge for us. We're going to have a limited number of limited amount of time to survive here. Potentially, if that Tennessee comes this direction, we're going to have a minute and a half left of survival because that's how long our smoke screen's good for here. So we'll see if we can get we'll see if we can get the starboard side angled that way, and then maybe we could at least try and send some torpedoes on that side. We do get him with the flood, right, which means he probably misused damage control previously, right, and didn't have it ready for when we got those torpedo hits and he had the flood. So that puts us up to 72,000 damage there. Yeah, I thought I was going to be out of luck there if he was going to come around the corner as my smoke screen ran out. We'll take some shots at the battleship here. We are at some point going to get close enough to the destroyer inside his own smoke screen that will be subject to our own smoke firing penalty, right? You can still get spotted if we're close enough and firing our guns. So I'm going to trip the sonar here, see if we can, and we'll push into that smoke screen, same thing as before. Sure enough, we do pick him up with the sonar, even though he's in the smoke. And he's spotting us because we fired our guns, right? He's within that smoke firing penalty range, so as we fire our guns, we become more spottable even through smoke. So, but we'll shoot at him. New Mexico battleship player shooting at a destroyer. Always love to see that. And then now we can use their own smoke screen against them, except I think it's also dissipating here. They're going away just at the most inopportune times for us here. But we'll continue to push up on him here. And if he's not going to pay, right, we could potentially duck behind the land here, back up, go in full retreat, but he's not paying attention to us, right? He may not realize that we're super low on health. He's hyper focused on the other battleship that's broadside to him, so we'll take advantage of that, right? If someone's not going to shoot you, go full, might as well, right? We'll take advantage. And then the Dutch cruiser gets in with the airstrike, and then we have a very healthy New Mexico left on the enemy team here. So I'm just trying to gauge which direction he's going to go. Kind of thinking, like, if I was him, I'd probably head towards Bravo, right? I'd probably head towards the B hole here, zone B, to try and get the zone cap, right? Try and do something, even though the game's probably lost at this point, right? But you can try, right? Like, that's probably what I would do, right? I'd probably head for B, see if I can get a zone cap, help him with my XP earnings for the game, that kind of thing, right? So, but we'll be super aggressive here, right? Just because it's fun. We've got the game won, so even if we die, it's not going to be a big deal, right? So we can go full in, send torpedoes. We've got torpedoes on both sides of the ship here. We do get the single launcher with these British cruisers, right? So if he's kind of head on to us and in close range, that's going to work really, really well. So we'll kind of see what situation we're in as we come around the corner here. We're not going to have a lot of time, right? He's going to have one. If he gets one shot on us, that's probably going to be it for us, right? So we'll see what we can do here, though. And spotted. So he's on the move. I'm going to guess he might turn in, so I'm going to send those torps a little bit short from the suggested line. And then I'm going to start turning. We are getting some hits with the secondaries. He does get us, right? That's, like I said, one shot's all it's going to take. And then, yeah, he did maneuver just right for our torpedo, so that worked out absolutely perfectly. And we trigger a flood on him there. Is it going to stick? Looks like it is. We've got damage ticking up here. Still ticking up. Still ticking up. Wait for it. There we go. Get that last kill with the It's Just a Flesh Wound medal, one of my favorites, right? So yeah, Commander Gowron on here, 113,000 damage. That is pretty good score for a Tier 5 regular tech tree ship. Walked away with about 300,000 in credits, but it does put us at the top of the leaderboard there. So we'll go through the build really quick. Aiming system here. Right, since it's Tier 5, you only get 2 of the, sort of standard mod slots, right? So I'm using steering gear there. You don't get propulsion mod as an option. But right, this is just a full-on AP build, right? So that's my recommendation if you don't have this commander. Just build into the AP shell damage. There's not too much different here on this commander that I wouldn't use on the free-to-play guys, right? So, and then refill station here, like I said, the other commanders might have fully packed, which I do like on the British cruisers because you do get so much tech, right? You get smokescreen sonars and heals, right? So you would get an extra one of each of those. So you do you there. Refill station still always really good choice as well for the faster reload, right? But that's going to be our video for the day, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. As always, special thanks to channel members. I try to do Legends videos every single day. So if you are subscribed, we'll see you guys again tomorrow.